Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Big Four podcast. My name is Luke Springer. I'm with the usual Brian, Nick, and Andrew. Happy holidays, guys. Christmas is over.
Yeah. Merry
How
Christmas.
sad.
Happy holidays.
Almost 2021. Happy New Year.
Yeah, facts. Well,
Terrific,
actually,
by the way.
We'll have. Wait, will we have one before the New Year? Yes, we'll
Thursday.
have one on the
That's
31st.
New Year's Eve.
New
Oh, we
Year's
should
Eve,
do
yeah.
it together.
Maybe. Possibly.
Why not?
We are the number 2 source for all things sports. If you know, you know. Go follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Big Four _podcast. It's Monday again. We didn't have one Thursday, and ever since we've gone on to the 2 episodes a week, for some reason this felt so long. Like it felt such a long
Like an
time
absolute
in between episodes. But we're back. And there's a lot to talk about because the NBA has started. Yes, we're late. Sorry about that. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, sorry. And NFL 1 week left, and that's it. So
That's
we got
crazy.
a lot of playoff, high intensity
Back
playoff
to episode
football.
1, the NFL draft.
Screw off.
May 9th, 2020.
Don't
That's so
go back
crazy.
and listen to it.
Throwback Thursday. Oh, wait.
It has our most downloads by far, and it's not even close.
Yeah, that's sad. That's depressing. 7th months in, and our
All right,
first
boys.
episode is
Let's make this episode the one with the most downloads.
yeet.
Everybody share, tweet at us. Share it with your friends and family and neighbors and enemies.
Dogs and cats. But yeah, we have a lot to talk
Hamsters.
about. But actually, we're gonna start with a sport that is in their off season because big news out of the MLB: the Padres trade 4 prospects, 2 catchers and 2 pitchers. I think it was weird that they gave up 2. That the Rays are looking for 2 catchers, but I don't know. That's weird.
They're gonna flip them.
For Blake Snell, Balake, he's going to San Diego, and they are a team to look out for now because
Welcome to San
What's the status of the
Diego.
Darvish thing?
That's
Darvish
almost
is still going on. They could
gone. Almost
him
gone.
and the Sox are actually
Superstars.
out in talks too. But I honestly the
Bauer's
Sox
gonna go
think
to San
so.
Diego, too.
I swear to God. I swear. If Bauer, but so okay, this is the thing. If Bauer goes, he's only going to go on a 1-year deal because he just wants to hop around.
I
the
don't think
league,
he's going to do that, though.
You don't
You know
think
how
so?
dumb that is? All he needs is one bad year, and he's never going to get paid.
That
He
is
could get
true.
That is
absolutely
true.
paid this year.
But I would
I
hope.
know.
I would
What
hope
he,
that.
if he wants to do that with some weird opt-out like language in the contract. That's all
Yeah.
he should do.
Mhm. I just hope that if he does go to San Diego, it's for longer, so that this year, sure, they'll make the playoffs, maybe make the World Series, but I don't see that happening over the Dodgers. But then the next year, when they get Clevenger back, they'll have Clevenger, Chris Paddock, Trevor Bauer, and Blake Snell. That's
Possibly
insane.
Darvish.
With the insane offense with Tatis, Hosmer, Machado, Will
Machado.
Myers,
Tommy Pham.
Frank Grisham, like, it's so
It's going to be a
nasty.
stacked team.
So
It's going to be fun
nasty.
to watch.
It is. And it's not the Dodgers where I dislike them, so it'll be fun to
Yeah.
watch
the
them.
The Padres are my official national
Second
league.
team.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're
National
my
League.
National League
Yeah.
team. And Don Orsillo makes that 100 times better.
True.
yeah.
I don't know. I haven't really thought about having a National League team, so I don't know what that would be. But sure, I could pick up the Padres. That could
I don't
be
know.
a
I just feel like whatever it is, I always have like for basketball, it's like an Eastern Western Conference team. Like I always like to pick. one
So
of each.
then, what's your Western Conference team in basketball?
Let me guess. Dallas.
No, I would say
Why? Because all the white guys.
No, I would say Portland.
No, I
Portland.
thought Andrew was a
Yeah.
big Doncic guy.
No,
Yeah.
and then
No,
I
he's a
am a
big
big
Dame
Dodgers guy.
Doll-
Love
he's a
Dodgers guy.
He's a
But I'm
Dame
an
Dollar
even bigger
fan.
Dame guy. Big
My
Dame
Eastern
guy.
Conference team is the Lakers, and my Western Conference team is the Lakers.
That's
Back when
funny.
they were in Minneapolis. Does that count?
Were they in the East in Minneapolis?
Probably
Hi,
not,
Nick.
but yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, big news out of the MLB with the addition to Blake Snell.
Slam
Diego. Well, yeah, with
It's gonna be
Slam-
fun.
And they
Slam Diego.
got that Korean guy.
Oh yeah, I just saw the alert for that on MLB's
Kenta
Instagram.
Maeda.
That
Ada?
guy's
No,
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 he's
it's some,
he's like a guy out of the KBO who's like the top Korean guy coming over the MLB. He hit like 320 with like 40 bombs and 120 RBIs last year.
Yeah, he could bat seventh
Wow.
in that
And
lineup.
he's gonna play second.
Yeah, they need it. Oh, they
Wow.
also have Tommy Pham. I
Crazy.
forgot about him.
Yeah, Tommy
yeah.
Pham.
But I'm just also confused as to why the Rays would do that. Like, are they?
Because that's what the Rays do. They flip.
they just
think
rebuilding?
about
Snell's
it.
gonna get
Dave,
Snell's gonna
think
get a
about-
big deal when his contract's up.
Think about players that they could have signed big deals. The only guy they've really ever signed to a big deal is Evan Longoria. They
Morton.
eventually
Yeah.
traded him, but Price sort of, but they traded him to Detroit, like a while ago now.
They dumped Archer.
Chris Archer, and they got Glasnow and Austin Meadows for him, 2 All-Stars that are probably eventually going to get traded too, just because that's what they do.
Yeah.
Now Snell.
Morton's
countless
gonna
more
go
guys.
soon too. Then.
Yeah.
Tampa situation.
Morton's gone.
Just like they
Morton's
set
in,
themselves up to be a
Atlanta.
Was he a free agent?
Yeah, he's in Atlanta now.
They
Is
set
that with
themselves
Upton?
Oh,
up
yeah,
to
that's
be a
right.
good
Upton.
team,
DJ
but
Upton,
they're not
Crawford,
gonna win any championships. with that.
Zobrist.
all these guys.
Yeah, they're not going to win World Series like that, but they're going to be a consistent playoff team because you're going to
Yeah.
bring in all stars that you can develop. but
They
as soon as
can't
hit their
sign
A
prime-
few
guys.
years they're gonna do it to
Yeah.
Rosarena.
They can't. Well,
Yeah.
who knows what his deal is? They can't sign guys until one, they either build a new stadium on the water in Tampa,
Or
which they
move.
have the whole plans for, but the city's like denying it, which is stupid. Or
Well, let's everyone
relocate.
do anything. I don't get that.
Or relocate. And I don't know where they'd relocate to, but relocate.
I don't know. I just feel like having like,
Maine.
Tampa.
Nashville.
No. Nashville would
Yeah,
be cool.
The Husson Tampa Bay or the Husson Devil Rays
Well, they're saying
Bangor.
Montreal, but I think that's
or
stupid.
whatever.
So I don't
Nashville would be
understand.
sick.
I hate Florida teams because Florida is a migration state. I don't understand why teams are there. They're
The
not-
only
I-
the only Florida team that's popular is the Heat.
Exactly. But that's because, well, I think Miami has better success because people that are Miami fans usually traditionally grow up in Miami. But people,
Yeah,
in,
old people don't like to go to
especially
Miami.
Tampa.
because-
Nobody
yeah.
grows up in Tampa.
No, Tampa is the perfect place
Clearwater.
where people, yeah, it's Tampa, it's St. Petersburg, it's Naples, that entire like,
Western and then Palm Beach,
West
North.
Coast side. Yeah,
Boca.
that's where people go when they're retired. It's where Brady's gonna go in 2 years.
Brady is.
He's just gonna stay.
Stephon Diggs to the house, 65-yard touchdown. Fantasy points.
Fantasy
Patriots
points.
suck.
It's week 16.
Against you, Luke. We're in the
Nah, I don't
championship,
care.
and you're beating me.
I am.
Yeah, except I
That's
think
because you
it
have
go-
Alvin
it goes
Kamara.
into next year too. Josh
Next
Allen just got a
week.
lot of points for that too, but Diggs now is 16.
Oh yeah, Alvin Kamara. Dude, Sean Payton. He could have had 7. He could have had the
Okay.
record.
Yeah, not only would that help you in fantasy, but like you said, the record for most touchdowns, especially on Christmas Day,
That'd have been
it
so
would have
sick.
been awesome.
And I
Would've
thought
been
they were gonna
awesome.
do it too
Devontae Adams.
because he called a time. Screw off, Nick. He called a timeout, and I was like, okay, here we go. He's giving him rest, and he puts in Taysom Hill. He's like, Taysom Hill, just go run it up the middle. Like, who cares? Like, oh, that was so annoying. And then he gave it to him on the next drive for a touchdown. Like, why not the drive before? I don't get it. Stupid idiot, sandwich face. But I digress. But yeah, the what were we even talking about? How did we even get to that? I feel like we just naturally
Andrew was
merged
talking about
over to
baseball, and
that.
Brian interjected with a fantasy point comment.
Oh,
about Stephon
fantasy
Diggs taking
points.
50-yard
Yeah,
touchdown.
that's right. But yeah, we can transition over to football because after today, it's the last week of the NFL season, and
Crazy.
unfortunately for Andrew's prediction,
Dude,
the Browns screwed the pooch.
It
The
was
Browns
going
are gonna
so
miss
well,
the playoffs.
It
It's
was
gonna
gonna-
happen.
dude. But tell me not for like 2 or 3 weeks there. My
2 or
take
3
was,
weeks
My take
up until
no,
kickoff.
my
until-
take was looking like it was gonna come true.
Yeah,
Up until my
The
take
Jets are
so
going to beat
far
the
has
Patriots
been the
next
best.
week.
Oh yeah.
They should.
Oh
We're
yeah.
tanking. We're trying to
Oh,
get
yeah.
a better pick. Bill did something against the
No,
Rams
it's not
to make
also not
sure
that.
that the Jets would
It's
beat them. Too.
we're now
Something weird.
seeing the Jets
are freaking peaking.
are
You
not
see, Adam Gase might come to the Patriots coaching staff if he gets fired.
the Jets
Oh.
are not like that.
QB coach or offensive coordinator if they lose.
They
to
were
Bengals.
just they were literally just intentionally losing so they can get the Lawrence pick. And once they didn't get the Lawrence pick, plays.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you don't get the Lawrence pick.
Baltimore,
Why
and they
even
play, like,
bother?
Then they end with frickin' Indianapolis. Like and Indy now needs to win, so Indy's gonna go full force on Jacksonville. So Jacksonville's gonna finish 1-15. New York's saying like, you know what? Now we don't even need to draft anybody. We're just probably gonna trade the pick. It's not worth it. It was just Lawrence or nothing. They just win. Try and win.
Yeah, the
games.
Jets and Jaguars have
doing
clinched
that.
their respective picks. So it's gonna be Jags
Yes.
1 and Jets
I mean,
2.
let's keep in mind, folks. The Jets were 7-9 last year. That's not bad. That's not good, but
That's weird.
they're not an 0-16 team. Like that's not. I think the Jaguars overall are worse than the Jets. I think if the Jets and Jaguars played tanking aside, I think the Jets would win.
Yeah, but while the Jets were on that losing streak, like while they couldn't win a game, they were on pace to probably be the worst team in NFL history.
Mhm.
Like bad. But now they're just winning games. They beat the Rams. The Rams might not even make the playoffs now. That's crazy.
I know the Rams are screwed.
They
They're
were-
not
Jared
gonna
they
win
were
the playoffs.
winning.
Jared,
They're winning the division.
They're gonna lose
what,
next week.
2-3 weeks ago.
the
and
Rams
now
are going
they're-
to lose next week
Yeah, they probably will.
because Jared Goff's out.
Jared Goff's
he's
out,
getting
but
sur-
Murray
who's the-
might not play.
Who's the
he's getting
backup?
surgery on his
A guy
thumb.
who has never taken an
Mc-
NFL snap in his
I don't
life.
know what his name is.
Nice.
And
But no, but
Nucci.
Murray might not play. Murray's going to have to play because the Cardinals the Cardinals need to win, and I mean, Green Bay, in my opinion, is not like the best team in the league, and they're playing Chicago. Chicago, you can kiss that one goodbye. And I just think that right now, Arizona could-
If Chicago's going to lose, then the Rams don't have to win.
no, I know Arizona is going to.
Arizona
Arizona's
has to
going to
win.
play.
Well,
Arizona has
Arizona
to
could
win.
also lose too if Chicago loses.
Yeah, which Chicago
No,
will. Because
I
Green
thought
Bay needs to like actually try because if they lose and New Orleans wins, which they probably will, then New Orleans would get the 1 seed.
I thought I
and-
saw that Chicago controlled their own.
Oh
fate.
no, yeah, you're right. Arizona's the first team out. Yeah, that's on me.
Oh right,
Arizona
right, right.
has to
yeah.
win. If
Oh
they
yeah,
lose,
I
they're
totally
out.
because
forgot they choked against San Fran.
yeah,
I
on
totally crossed
I
my
saw
mind.
on ESPN and I was looking. I was just like, Chicago's in the playoff picture.
That was
right now?
terrible. They're gonna get
And, well,
absolutely dusted.
They started
by
5-1.
New Orleans. That'd be so funny though if the 7. See, Dallas is gonna make the playoffs. Philly's gonna be Washington because Washington doesn't have a quarterback, and Dallas has been playing really well. And they're gonna make the playoffs.
Dwayne Haskins.
And they get to play Tampa.
Yeah. Okay, so Tampa. So I think that Tampa now is
Tampa's
the
peaking.
biggest. Tampa is the biggest threat to Green Bay.
Tampa's gonna go to the NFC Championship.
Tampa's
I don't know, they're
Tampa's
weird.
peaking twice. Tampa's peaking twice. Tampa peaked when they played
Actually,
the
I'm
Raiders,
going to agree with that
and they're
because
gonna peak now.
They
Because-
get the NFC East in their first.
because the Seahawks suck now.
Basically
The
bye week.
Seahawks are so
Seahawks
bad.
aren't good.
But
Seahawks
then,
aren't
they'll-
good.
But then hold on. Then Tampa play likely Green Bay.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, they
But that's
absolutely booty clapped them
Oh.
though. They will beat
Yeah, but
them
that was in
38 to
Tampa.
10. Yeah,
That was
but
in Tampa.
Brady's a cold weather player. He's fine. He can.
Here's the
manage.
thing.
Well, how-
Rodgers is
how
playing
about the
best
rest
football
of the
season
team?
right now? Everyone on Green Bay is
Fine.
rolling. They figured out a backfield. The offensive line's been fine. They have
That'd be
a
a
tight
fun
end
game,
that
though. That'd be a fun
it's
game.
good. And Jair Alexander is if I still think Ramsey's the best corner in the game, but if he's not the best corner, then Jair.
Yeah, well, Nick's
Yeah.
lagging out. Shout out.
And they're finally they're coached well.
Yeah, Luke, you shouldn't talk either. You just lagged
Yeah,
out.
you just
too, bud.
lagged out there. Too.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, nice try, bud.
But shout out
New
BC
Orleans?
guy AJ Dillon, 2 touchdowns,
AJ
124.
Green Bay has their power back. They have Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams as a receiving back. I don't know what his stats is. I know he's injured or whatever.
Then the
They have
GOAT,
offensive
AJ
line.
Dillon.
Aaron Rodgers
AJ
is currently
Dillon's
going to win
a
MVP.
unit.
Devontae
Aaron
Adams is
Rodgers
insane. We can have the
better
best
be
receiver in the
MVP.
league. I think he's the best. He makes everyone around him better. I don't think Lazard's not a bad receiver.
Valdez
Tons of
Scantling's
fine
pretty
tight
bad.
end.
Pretty good.
They
too.
use Mercedes Lewis somehow, and then defensively they're very good defensively.
Yeah, they are.
Green Bay is the best team,
In football.
and we're gonna get more because it's one of the 3 questions for ish or yield. But Green Bay is really good. I don't think the Buccaneers are gonna beat the Packers. If they do, that'd be a really good game.
Yeah.
because Brady's good in the playoffs, and we know that.
I
I'm
mean,
excited
obviously,
to see Tampa in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, obviously New Orleans, like as the 2 seed, if they have to play Green Bay, if they have to go to Green Bay, they're screwed. They
They gotta
have
beat. They
they
gotta play the
they have
Seahawks.
to be, yeah.
So
They're gonna be.
Huh.
It's not gonna look good because
Yeah.
well,
with no Mike Thomas, they gotta beat the Seahawks without Mike Thomas.
yeah. And Seattle's defense is
Sounds terrible.
Seattle's defense is looking a little better.
We can all agree that Jamal Adams was just completely off when he said they're the best defense in the league.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
32nd in total offense. Best.
yeah, not great.
A little bit off.
But yeah, I'm just so mad because for a couple of weeks there, I thought my take was gonna come true. But
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay.
By the
It
way,
was- it was a valiant effort.
My take early on when the Dolphins were 1-3, I said the Dolphins are legit. What are they since then? 9-2.
here
Woohoo!
I've been sticking by the Steelers.
Steelers
That
suck.
that half of football, that second half of
It was
football,
impressive.
was
Philip Rivers played terrible.
my opinion. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger's played a long time. He's played a lot of different players. He's played on a Super Bowl team. That is one of the best halves of football a Big Ben-led team has played. I mean, it's
we
got
all
to be
know
up there for his career. I mean, that was
we all
insane.
know why they won that game. It's pretty
Whatever
obvious
he-
why they won that game because Juju wasn't
wasn't-
dancing on the logo.
Facts, bro. It's not like. So let me give you an example. When the Chiefs were playing the Texans and the Texans went up 24-0, I still had in my mind the Texans don't have a great defense. Mahomes is insane. That offense is great. They can still a couple plays here, a couple plays there. They can get back in this game like that. Like Houston defense is big play prone.
Yeah,
On the other hand, Indianapolis defense is not. They have a really good defense, and Big Ben just cut right through it. And whatever adjustment he made at halftime, it's worked, and he's going to come out against the Browns playing exactly what that same adjustment he's going to have. I mean, whatever happened, it's a fatigue team. They've played on a short week, so many consecutive weeks that it's their bodies are wearing out. They play like 3 games in 12 days or something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous the amount of games they've played in such little time that, I mean, yeah, they had 3 bad losses. They weren't good losses, but that half of football that's how the Steelers should play because they're that type of team. They can do that. Defense gets stopped. So I just think, I mean, Pittsburgh's not a great team, but I don't
Yeah.
think we should still count them out yet.
The AFC is so good in the playoffs that it's
Yeah,
it's
the
going to be
Chiefs.
interesting.
It's gonna
to
be
The
see
Chiefs,
fun.
I thought the start of
is
the year, I
gonna
was
be
like,
a
all right, this
fun
team's
year
Super
of
Bowl bound. This
playoffs.
team's going to win a Super Bowl for years to come. This Chiefs team is the next dynasty, like the Patriots were. And then now the Chiefs look really bad against Atlanta. You brought up this fat pre-podcast about Mahomes' 16 dropped interceptions.
he has 16 dropped interceptions
I
this
mean,
year.
hold the phone. Buffalo looks good still.
Buffalo
Pittsburgh played
looks
great. I'm not saying
great.
Pittsburgh's that much of a
Pitts-
threat.
I don't think so at all.
I
Buff-
still
Buff- I would
think-
still say
I
Buffalo
still am
or
not sleeping on Baltimore.
Tennessee. Yeah, no.
Tennessee's got a great run game, and not a lot of teams in the AFC have a great run defense. I just
Nick
think
told me
that
to hold the phone. I'm holding it.
Hold the phone, bro. I just think that Kansas City is not
Oh, you
looking
Darvish
too
official.
good.
That's fun.
is not
Yeah.
is not
San
looking as good
Diego.
as
Yep.
is not looking as good as I thought they were. Kansas
Wow,
City is.
they're
I
so
just-
good.
Oh, they
I'm
gave up
just-
Zach Davies.
Oh,
I'm
he's
just
good
saying that.
though. Oh wait,
Okay.
go ahead, Nick. Finish.
Buffalo is the
No, I was
biggest. Buffalo's the toughest opponent to dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think
Buffalo's a
it's even
threat.
close now.
But I think I'm sorry. I think Baltimore is still a threat.
Baltimore
Pittsburgh,
can
if
be
they
a
can play. If Pittsburgh can pull it together, they're gonna get their days off. Much needed days off. I mean, Andrew, you know it. You were an exercise science major. I mean,
Not
I
anymore.
think you know, and everyone here that's ever exercised for a long period of time, not me because I'm lazy and fat. But
Speak up, Nick. You're
I'm just saying
mumbling there,
that,
bud.
like, as good as anyone, that when you do the same thing for a certain amount of time, like if you have 5 days between big activities consistently, that the one time you get 6 days, that one day is going to make – it seems like it's not going to make a difference, but that one day makes a big difference on your body. It's a whole extra day of recuperation and rest that you need, that your body needs, and you just feel great the day after.
Yeah.
You feel like a whole new person. I mean, Pittsburgh's gonna feel like a whole new team physically against the Browns. They're gonna feel and they're because they played so many consecutive short weeks. They're gonna continue to feel that way into the postseason. Like I just think Pittsburgh is still gonna be a threat.
Yeah, especially in the
So-
especially in the most physically demanding sport there is in
right.
football.
Exactly. And I say this again quietly because I know a lot of people don't agree with me that Baltimore, I think, is still a threat.
If
And
Baltimore
Chiefs-
sticks to their game plan, they can be a threat. If they can play good
Baltimore's been-
defense and they use Lamar Jackson to the best of his
and they've been
ability,
using Dez.
then they can.
They've been using Dez.
Okay, Dez is not a
And-
factor.
I get it, but he's a receiver they need because they don't have receivers. And the run game's been great. The offensive line's been great. The defense has been forcing turnovers. They've been getting stops. I mean, just saying that Baltimore has found a rhythm.
They're going to play Buffalo and
They're
lose by
rolling.
1,000.
I don't think that's ever happened. So
Maybe that's gonna be a big
we'll
game.
see.
That's my issue with now Buffalo because I think if Buffalo plays Baltimore and then they got to go play probably Pittsburgh. I mean, it's just two games against two very good defenses, very physically. The Baltimore and Pittsburgh have forever been like the toughest defenses. I guess attitude-wise, they've always had guys that can deliver big hits. They always put big tolls on other teams physically, and I just think that Buffalo's going to play two very tough games and have to play Kansas City, and we're assuming Buffalo's going to beat both those teams.
Yeah,
I just think Baltimore's going to be the toughest team. Baltimore's going to put a tougher matchup on Buffalo than Pittsburgh will, and we're going to have to seek Pittsburgh's going to cruise to whoever the hell they play. I don't think they'll cruise to Miami, or if they play Miami, they'll cruise to Miami.
Cleveland,
Through Cleveland.
Indy.
They just beat Indy.
So it was a good. They were down a lot. I wouldn't count them just beating them as being like they're going to roll through. I think whoever they play is
I
going to
know,
be
I
a
just
really
don't think
tight game.
Rivers is.
I think
Phillip Rivers is gonna get to the
Buffalo
playoffs.
Buffalo just is. I don't think that. I feel like they're in the same boat as the Celtics. They're a talented team, but it's just not their year. But I feel like in the next year or two, you could see them coming out of the AFC.
And that's not saying Tennessee. What's Tennessee's record and what's Indy's record? Indy's 10-5. Tennessee is.
Tennessee is 11.
Tennessee's 10 and 5. 10 and 5. There's 5 teams
They're
at 10 and
both 10 and
5.
5.
There's 5
Okay.
teams at 10
Oh,
and
right,
5.
because they lost.
But Tennessee plays Houston, and Indy plays Jacksonville to close the season.
Those are gonna
All
be
5 of those teams
That's-
could miss the playoffs. Tennessee, Miami,
Who's the
Baltimore.
tiebreaker?
Right now, Indy's the team out. So Cleveland, Baltimore, Miami, and Tennessee can all win, and they're in.
Yeah.
But if any of those teams, any of one of those
Baltimore
teams,
plays Cincy.
if any of those one teams lose and one of them, and say Indy wins, they're in. Anybody can be out. Any of those 5 can be out if someone loses.
The Dolphins
it's
are
gonna
big
be- it's
Patriots
gonna
fans
be
this week 'cause
Cleveland.
You want Buffalo to be in cruise control when they play Miami because you don't have to play Buffalo and Buffalo's.
Miami is
purpose.
big Buffalo fans this week. What the F are you talking about?
Oops, yes, I meant Buffalo. Sorry. Yes, you don't want to play Buffalo if they're playing for a purpose. You want them
Well,
to
they're
just-
going to play for a purpose now that Pittsburgh won. because
Yeah,
they can
if
play for the
Pittsburgh
2.
lost,
That's
if
true, that's
Pittsburgh
true.
lost, then they would have just.
You're playing for the 2 because you want Cleveland, who needs to win.
Well,
Who
you're
they're going to
just
have to play
playing
for
for
Pittsburgh. And Miami
you
needs
don't
to
want to play
win.
Buffalo.
These
you don't
2
want to play. You
games-
don't. I mean, you don't want to play Baltimore. But I think Baltimore is the toughest. Well, I think Baltimore is. I think Baltimore is better than Pittsburgh. Sorry, I think they are. I think Baltimore's the best team right now in the AFC North.
Yeah.
I think if we were to power rank the AFC North, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincy. I just think Baltimore is rolling now.
All right.
Nah,
moving on.
Cincy's rolling.
Oh yeah.
They're
okay.
screwing their draft position.
Yeah,
But yeah,
like, they don't-
whatever.
they don't really need.
Doesn't matter. The one sport that we haven't talked about in a while, besides off-season moves, trades, and signings, is the NBA because the NBA is back, and for lots of teams have played 3 games. A few have played 2, and then the Thunder and Rockets have played 1 each. But after a week or so, right? Has it been a week?
Yeah, Tuesday,
Well,
6 days.
A week, 6 days. We'll say a week. The last 5 undefeated teams are the Thunder, the Magic, the Cavs, the Pacers, and the Hawks. That's interesting.
Hawks are kind of Fuego-Litsky. They've also
well,
played nobody.
we knew the Hawks were going to be like good. I didn't think
But they
they were going to
played
be.
Played one
nobody.
game.
they have again. I'm just speaking like that. Obviously, these teams haven't played anyone, and like
Yeah, it's
it's just been a
it's
weird
too early to
schedule,
call. Like who
and
knows?
it's super early. Like I'm just saying, it's just it means nothing. It really means nothing.
Yeah.
What I do find funny is how James Harden scores 15 or not 15. He has 44 and 17 in a season where he is gained probably 50 pounds and has no interest in being there yet. He still scores 44 and gets
I'm making
17
my
assists.
wild JD Martinez 100 RBI prediction.
Oh,
that
God,
James
let's hear
Harden
this.
Averages between 35 and 40 points a game this season.
That's not as bad as JD Martinez. JD Martinez, 100 RBIs in 60
games
60
puts him on
games.
pace for like 260 in a regular season, which is like,
Yeah, that was bad. This one's a little
come
more.
on, guy.
This
Well,
one's a little
he
more manageable.
averaged
He got 3 in the
35 a
first game,
game
and I was
last
pumped
year.
up. I'm like, JD is back, baby. Let's go.
What he finished with 19.
Yeah.
Little off, 81 off.
It wasn't 19.
80
It was higher than that, but he was terrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
Uh-huh.
He did have an
Um,
RBI for like 20 straight games after you said that.
James Harden saying, "Screw it, I had something to prove." I don't know what he has to prove, really. I mean, frankly,
No, you know who
he's
had
been
screw
trying
it,
to do
I
the
have
same
something to
thing
prove
ever.
was freaking Terry Rozier. He
Oh
said
my
F you guys.
God.
He said F you guys for drafting
see the-
LaMelo. I'll
you
drop
see-
44 in the first game and then yam on Kevin Durant.
Kevin
then-
Durant.
Did
yeah.
you
Two
see
closing free
Did you see
throws
the
to close the
Hornets
game.
Twitter posted different unis, same chemistry, and it was a picture of Hayward and Rozier in Celtics jerseys, and then
Bruh,
Charlotte.
that's a force.
and I was like,
They barely played with each other.
oh, they played for 2 years.
1 year.
One of the years Hayward's
1 year.
ankle
Oh yeah,
was
well
in the
because he
wrong
got
direction.
hurt. Hayward got hurt. Well, he was there, but he broke his leg.
exactly. But yeah, that's weird. And then there have been weird games like the Knicks beating the Bucks yesterday.
The Bucks look. Ugh.
Yes,
The Bucks
this,
look
you
bad.
can't make any predictions in the NBA. And sorry,
It's so
any
early season, they
assumptions
had a
or
week.
No,
or
I know,
weird-
I know.
weird-
It's just I
until, like, and-
understand.
No, I'm just.
I mean, it was stupid because Lakers playing the
Clippers and last year and they lost and everyone's like, "Oh, LeBron's washed. They're gonna work." Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, "All right, let's relax, relax." As a Lakers fan too, let's relax. But most importantly, just last year people were making like assumptions. The Bucks started on fire, the Raptors started on fire, and all these teams are gonna win the championship. Ping pong back and forth. The Lakers winning straight. Oh, Lakers are gonna win the championship, and the Clippers beat them. Clippers are gonna win the championship. Like it's people are making assumptions like based on each individual game. This year, you can't make any assumptions until at least 20 games because Brooklyn
20
played
is
2
a lot.
games, won, and then they lose to the Hornets, and then the
How about-
Bucks.
How about the
just got blown out by the
Clippers?
Knicks. And then the Clippers lost by 50 million to the Mavericks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh my God. that was-
77-27 at half.
25 to the Lakers the night before, and the Lakers lost to the Clippers on opening day. Like it's just
It's so early season.
So
Teams had no
crazy.
training camp. It's who knows. What's
Yeah.
gonna
it's just
But
crazy.
I saw this thing. It was what was it? Luka Doncic had more points responsible for, like points, assists, whatever,
Doncic and
and
Richardson.
than the
26.
Los Angeles Clippers starters. He outscored them 44 to
The
41.
Clippers.
What
Clippers
for
scored
points
13.
responsible for?
The Clippers scored 13 in the first quarter. Doncic and Richardson had 13 each in the first quarter.
That's crazy.
That's funny. But no, and then since there's again, like you guys said, there isn't really anything to speak on because it's super early season. But the Suns have looked good, and
Yeah, they
that's
have.
promising because that's looking like that Chris Paul trade is working out in the
They
end.
lost. There goes the win streak.
What, that 2-game win streak?
Oh,
We'll go
yeah.
Back to the bubble.
Oh yeah, exactly, yeah. So
Oh,
Um,
the Celtics lost on Christmas. They lost their 1-game winning streak. No.
yeah, Celtics are buns. Whatever.
Just better
Um,
shot selection down the stretch will help.
Believe me.
But,
But we
one
won't
thing,
talk about-
one thing that's kind of random that I wanted to bring up. Did anybody watch the Cowboys Eagles game and the camera after
Video
they scored
game.
a touchdown?
Video game.
It looked awesome. It was
After
like-
the
I think
way
it was
the
like
sun
8K
shined into
display.
AT&T,
oh
it
my
was
God.
creepy.
It was awesome.
Well,
it was so cool.
it was
if
the
you
way-
don't know what it is, check it out.
It was the way
Just check it out.
It
It's
The
looks
way
so
like
this-
cool.
more real than real life. It looks like more real
Exactly.
than what I see in real
The
life.
way the sun came in and reflected on the camera, the way Dalton walked right in front of the camera to make like kind of like a blurred effect, and he
Yeah.
walked out. It was the way the sun shines into AT&T Stadium made the difference.
What?
was- it
What?
was
Oh,
sick.
when they walked in.
No,
Here,
no,
I'll
no.
show
It
you.
was
look,
after
I'll-
a Gallup
Luke,
touchdown.
I'm sending it.
You
I'm sending
said
it to you now.
Contreras,
Send it
Brian.
to me
Okay.
too.
Okay,
Cartine.
I just have
Yeah,
I have the
they
one
originally
after
was
Deshaun Jackson's, but it's so cool.
Deshaun
it's so
Jackson's
cool.
touchdown was classic throwback. When he ran back the punt against the Giants, that was bring back memories.
Yeah,
Where he runs
Um,
like
so cool.
the
It
last
looks
5
so
yards, he
cool.
runs 30 yards.
Mhm.
It's like it looks like portrait mode, but a video, and it looks so
it's more
cool.
real than real life. I don't get it.
Yes, it looks
Yeah.
so cool.
That does look cool. But yeah, we can move on to the last two things. I don't know who wants to go first, Andrew or Nick, with their things.
All right, I'll go first. So, as you know, we're taking requests for our top
We're a pure
5
podcast.
whatevers. We are a podcast for you guys. We
Yeah,
like to
also,
interact.
Before
We
you
like to
say
keep-
this, it doesn't have to be top 5 rankings. We can just
No,
just
exactly.
request what we want to talk about. It doesn't have to be.
Anything.
Exactly.
And it could
Yeah.
be sports. It doesn't have to be like non-sport. It could be sports
Yeah.
too. We're just what you guys want.
Exactly. We want to do what you guys do. We
want what
like
you
to give
want.
back. We want to keep you engaged. We want to keep the people engaged, and when people hear their ideas being used in a podcast, I don't know, it makes them feel special. So we're gonna rank our top 5 sports moments that we've ever been in person to watch, sports games, that type of stuff. So would anybody like to go first?
I can go first.
All right, Nicholas.
So we'll start at 5 because then there's no suspense if you start at 1. I was in present for the greatest pitching matchup in the history of the world. It was Rangers Red Sox a few years ago, and it was Bartolo Colon versus Chris Sale. That's legendary. My friend and I made a sign and everything, and he actually gave us a nod too. It was sick.
I
Our
was
sign
on the
got on TV
fountain.
Our sign got on TV once when they were doing like a hot dog like ad, like a pre-inning ad for like hot dogs or whatever. And I zoomed in on the right field line. Our sign was right there. I was like, oh my god! So that was awesome. So Bartolo Sale, number 4, Celtics versus the Bucks in 2018. I forget what playoff game it was, but it was wild.
Game 1.
Round 1, game 1.
It was wild. Chris Milton hit like a trick shot at the buzzer, and then Rozier crossed up Eric Bledsoe, and it was sick. And they hit a 3. I mean, it was just really fun. It was a really fun game to be at. So Celtics won. So that was. I have more Celtics stuff than Lakers stuff. That was number 4. Number 3, Pats Rams. Garrett Blunt ran the Rams out of the freaking state. And the New England ended up beating the Rams, and it was Brady's 201st win. He passed Manning most all time. That was a really cool game I was at. Number 2, I was in attendance for Isaiah Thomas's 50-point game against the Miami Heat when he was in the Celtics. So that was pretty cool. And then number 1 was Kobe's last game in the Garden, which the Lakers won, and it was freaking awesome. Kobe's last game in the Garden. So that's number 1. That's the best moment I've seen.
All right, Brian, we'll go to
Sure.
you.
This is really hard simply because I've probably been
That's
to
what
over
she said.
200. Simply
Yeah.
because I've probably been to over like 150 Red Sox games. So there's been so many like crazy walk-offs and stuff like that, but it's like so hard to like remember which year it was. So
Exactly.
let's just say I could make my own top 5 of Red Sox games if I just go back and look at the tickets that I all have. But for the 5 that I'm going to go with,
Do you keep the tickets every single one, like in a stash?
well, they switched them to mobile tickets. So like I don't really
My
have
dad
my
has
own
a
tickets
drawer of
anymore.
Celtics tickets.
I have a
from
ton
when
of
he
I have a
had-
ton of the
he had
tickets. I have
season
at
tickets.
least 50 of them.
That's pretty
But
cool.
starting off number 5. This is just a hard
Better be
list, but
good.
I'm gonna go with World Series Game 2 2013. It was they lost, so I mean that's why it's 5. Poppy hit a go-ahead home run over the wall, so kind of right in front of where I was sitting to go up 2-1 in the 6th inning. Right. The ball into the stands to allow 2 runs in the 7th. That was terrible. It was a dribbler, and he was trying to get the guy at third, and he just shot it into the stands. Like, dude, what are you doing? Buffoon. They lost the game 4-2. Number 4, I'm going to go with Red Sox Yankees, April 2018. Tyler Austin, Joe Kelly fight. That was just the start of 2018 for the Sox. Like
That's awesome.
they lost the game, but it was crazy. I think it was 10-8 the final. JD hit a grand slam. The fight, the whole thing. 2018 was sick. There's other games. I went to Mookie walk-off against Minnesota in July, so that was cool. 3, I'm going to go Celtics Heat. Isaiah 52-point game. I was at that one. December 29th, 2016.
52.
52, yes. Number 2, I'm going to go Celtics Wizards. May 10th or something like that. 2017, Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, overtime victory. Isaiah Thomas 53 points.
Oh, that game was awesome.
That game was sick. Playoff game at the Garden for them. Oh, it was insane. And number 1, Red Sox Dodgers World Series Game 1.
Yes,
22.
sir.
Fun
All
game.
right, Luke, you're up.
So hold on. I'm confused as to why. Like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if it's gonna go
It's hard.
by
That's what
significance,
she said.
or by like just best overall game. So I don't know what this
it
is
can
gonna
be whatever you
Try your
want. It
best.
could
I
it could
kinda
be
went
based off of
significance to
yeah. It
make
could be
it better.
based
So-
off of the game. It could be based off of your experience.
Well, so I'll go with significance. I only have I'm probably because Brian, what'd you do? Like 4 Red Sox games, you did a mixture. Okay,
I
I'm
did
gonna be
You did
Three-
3 Red
three
Sox.
3
three
Red
Celtics-
Sox, 2 Celtics.
3 Red Sox. Yeah, I'm gonna be 4 Celtics and 1 Red Sox just because
I
I've
could
been
have
to
gone
so
more
many
Celtics, but
games.
it was like it's hard.
I'm gonna start with the one that Nick said earlier. Round 1, Game 1, Bucks, Middleton, half court shot, following Rozier's 3 to potentially win the game. Should have won the game because there's no way Middleton should have made that shot. But yeah, that was 2018. Then I'll probably go with the 2008 Game 7, Round 1 against the Hawks with rookie Al Horford, Josh Smith. That was
Teague.
round 1 when the
They have
Celtics
Teague?
wone. Teague, they didn't have Teague. He wasn't in the
Like
league
Korver,
in
right?
2008 yet. I don't know if Corver was on the team.
Millsap.
Millsap might have been.
No, that was
But-
way before. That was
This was rookie.
that was
I
6
know it
years
was-
before the Hawks were
Uh,
good.
Millsap
I
over
think.
Wrigley.
Oh, Mike Bibby was on that team. I remember
Mike
Mike Bibby being on that
Bibby.
team.
Like,
Baby.
blast from the
Dude is
past.
either fat or swole. I don't know which one to call it nowadays. Have you seen a
Both.
picture of that guy recently?
He's
Jesus.
nuts. He's
Um,
a bodybuilder.
But yeah, that'll probably be number 4. Number 3, I'll have to go. Wait, where was I? So it was that. Oh, Game 7. I want to say 2012 2012 Game 7 against the Sixers, where Rondo hit 2 clutch threes at the end because Pierce and Garnett, Garnett might have not fouled out. Pierce fouled out. Rajon Rondo of all people hit 2 threes as the shot clock expired and had a phenomenal game that game to push them on to the next round as well. Number 2 is a toss-up with number 1, but I'm only going to make this next one number
Luke,
No, I'll go this one number 2. I'll do Celtics Lakers 2010 Game 5 NBA Finals as number 2. The only reason I'm not putting this number 1 is because they lost a series. They won that game, Game 5. They won Game 5, but then they proceeded to lose 2 in a row because Kendrick Perkins got injured and the Lakers happened. And then number 1 is the one that Brian has as number 1 is 2018 Game 1 World Series against the Dodgers for the Red Sox. That was just a lit game overall. Plus the Dodgers fan in front.
That guy must have spent $5,000 on adult beverages.
And then on honor, I'll go one honorable mention is Celtics Cavs of last year when Semi Ojeleye hit a 3, his first NBA 3.
Grant.
That
you
was
before-
Grant.
Grant. Who did I say?
Semi.
Semi Ojeleye. I don't know why I said
Semi-Ojeley's
that.
been
That
in
was
the league
weird.
for-
I was thinking.
Honorable mention would probably be Celtics Bucks October 30th.
I was
last
thinking
year.
that was a good game too. I was thinking corner 3 because he hit it in the corner, and I just think Celtics corner 3 it's Shemi because it's butter.
That game was so bad. They won by like 30. The only time I stood up and wasn't on my phone was when he
Yeah,
hit
I
that
think I was
shot.
playing like MLB 9 innings the whole game,
It
and
was
and
so
then
bad.
just looked up periodically. But go ahead, Andrew. Now on to yours.
All right. So I kind of took a different route and I don't want to go back. I did it based off of how excited I was. So I went off based off of entertainment. Number 5, don't remember the year, but it was Red Sox Astros and Devers hit a walk-off homer. It was a great game. It was close the entire way. I think they only won it was a close game. It was a low-scoring game as well. So that was a good one. Number 4 was Pats Chiefs when Gostkowski hit the
Oh.
game-winning field goal.
Oh yeah, 43-40. Good game.
43-40, yeah. Number 3, I'm gonna go with the Boston versus Milwaukee 2019 comeback. That was a great game. We had the guy right next to us just whacking his hand
Oh, facts.
on the wall. Oh, that was awesome. And then this is a different one. Bruins versus Hurricanes. I don't remember the year, but that was when Zdeno Chara had a hat trick. It was awesome. And then number 1 was round 1, game 1 against Milwaukee. That's a pretty big consensus between at least 3 of us.
I'm surprised that Pats game isn't
Brian
higher.
wasn't there, so
Yeah,
he couldn't.
screw you, Brian, you weren't there.
Yeah, I was on vacation. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are our top 5
I
in-person
thought the Pats
games that
gonna be
we've
higher
ever
up
been
on
to.
your list.
That's
seemed
what
like
I
it'd be a
just said.
lit
I
game
thought
to
the
be to.
I thought the Pats were gonna be higher.
I don't know. It was
Were you
fun.
not, do you not
but-
have like good seats or anything? Like you didn't get the full
No,
experience?
like I was right on the 50, but the reason why it was so low is because they were up and then they ended up blowing it and then they ended
Ah,
up scoring a field goal
Like
at the
they were
end.
only up at like 2 scores. Like they were just kind of like it was more like a back and forth. I mean,
Eh,
I don't know. It is what it is.
sorta.
Gronk had that filthy stiff arm.
Yes, that was awesome.
regardless, we are moving on to the final segment. Next segment, Nick, take it away.
Yeah, it's time for it's technically tied with the people segment as our newest segment because the people segment is now for the 3rd straight week. We're doing the people segment. This is the 3rd straight week of Yeshi or Yield, which is the name of the segment. Trademark pending. It is a buy, sell, or hold parody. I said that last week, so ESPN doesn't sue us. You like they care. And like
Yeah.
everything ever in this podcast with a crying emoji is presented by no one. So if you know someone who could present this podcast to us, please let us know.
Who's
we're
gonna
des- we're
sponsor
desperate.
us?
Facts. We're desperate. To begin with, I think with the same order as could be consistent: Andrew, Brian, Luke, and then me. Unless we want to change it, but I don't think we need to. Obviously, we're gonna start with the NFL. Can do NFL, NBA, NFL. Dallas Cowboys have a running back situation, in my opinion. But regardless, Andrew, first
Yep.
question of Yeshi or Yield. Should they move on? Should they consider moving on from Zeke this offseason?
I'll say I'm gonna go with Yish here. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeesh.
I just feel like Tony Pollard's been pretty good. Ezekiel Elliott, he's not taking care of the ball, and being Patriots fans, you know the saying, you lose the ball, lose your job. I feel like that should be the same, especially with the amount of fumbles that he's had this year. So, and I don't know. It's just I don't like Zeke either. So I don't know. I think it might be time for them to move on, to part ways.
Ryan?
I'm gonna say yield or even yeet. I'm gonna yeet it because every single guy in the Dallas Cowboys offensive line right now is a backup or 3rd string. He did go for like 110 last week, so he had a good week.
5.
Sorry, 5 yards.
Stephon
less.
Diggs is balling like Curry right now.
I know it's big for me for fantasy. If Stidham isn't in this game, coming out of this drive, I will have a fit because I'm sick of Cam Newton. Okay. Yeah, I don't think Zeke's over, and they can't just move on. They signed him to a massive contract in the offseason. They can't just be like, okay, bye.
Oh,
So
that's true.
he kind of can't go anywhere, and nobody's trading for him, so he's stuck. You know?
Yeah, he's kind of
Yeah,
like a Carson.
Yeet 100%.
He's like a Carson Wentz situation now that I think of it.
In a couple of weeks or whenever I get the chance, I'm gonna take time out of my life to just have all these sound effects prepared for when we do this.
Okay. My turn. I'm gonna make mine quick. I'm agreeing with Brian, and I'm rewording and correcting your question, Nick, or statement. The Cowboys don't have a running back issue; they have an offensive line issue.
You're yeeting.
Sure.
Yeet. I'm gonna.
Yeet.
It's more like a yes no because I worded the question wrong. You really can't yield on this one because it's kind of like should they move or should they not? Like there's nothing to wait for. Like right now.
It's all right, guy.
I don't think Zeke can redeem himself with the Week 17 performance.
ASMR.
I mean, I really can't care less.
Speak up, Nick. Nobody can hear you, buddy.
I'm just kind of mumbling. I just think that I'm gonna say yeet, because, like Brian pointed out, I don't think the offensive line is an issue. I mean, well, it is an issue right now, but I don't think the offensive line is, the reason why we shouldn't give up on Zeke. I think it's the contract, and no one's gonna want him. So yeah, yeet.
You do know he
Number
led
two.
the league in rushing. Like I think of
Zeke
I don't know.
Zeke is his 5th year. He has gotten worse.
He has regressed each year because
every
Dallas has
single
every
year.
he's gotten worse every year
Because-
since his rookie year they've become to more and more of a passing
Exactly.
passing team.
They were
That's
one of the
why.
best offense when he came into the league. They were one of the best offensive lines in the entire NFL.
Zach
and now
Martin,
they
Travis
are one of the
They
Frederick.
worst.
still are, which is I
No,
think they don't
Not
even
this
running backs
suck.
anymore.
Every guy is hurt.
Oh, okay. Well, right now they're hurt, but come
Yeah,
next
so that's why
year-
They've
he's
hurt the whole
sucking this year.
and half their line retired.
Yeah, but I just don't think that. I'm losing Zeke. I'm sorry. I'm losing faith on him. I don't think.
So
he's a good
then you're
running back.
saying
But
yes, not yeet.
I'm saying yeet. I
That's-
don't think he's a great running back, but I don't think they can trade for him.
So you're saying that they are keeping him.
Yes.
Yes.
Because his contract's too big. Brian pointed out.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Brooklyn Nets lose again. Beautiful thing.
On to the next
Brooklyn
one.
Nets
on
lost
to
again.
the
So
next
that is a
one,
great
on to
segue.
KD
So-
and Kyrie didn't play.
Brooklyn
Bears.
beats Brooklyn blows Golden State out of the East Coast. Then they go and beat Boston. Then they lose to Charlotte, and they just lose again.
Well,
I mean, without
nobody
KD and
played
Kyrie,
this
but they lose again.
No one played this game, so it doesn't matter.
I'm just saying, teams. I mean, the Clippers beat the Lakers, and look, they're the best team in the league, and then they get massacred by the
On to
Mavericks.
the next one.
Yes,
On
yeet
to
or
the
yield.
next one.
Andrew,
on to the
is this an accurate statement? The NBA is the most competitive it will ever be.
Yes. There's no question. Like
Yeesh.
nobody knows what's going on right now. Anybody can win. Also, it's early. There was no training camp really, so I mean, who knows?
Freaking A. Cam Newton, go die in a ditch. Why is he on the field?
That's a new intro.
No.
I'm just joking.
For your question, yes, it's a nasty league. Every team, like the East, is so much better. The West is like the duos in the NBA right now are insane. So yes, yeesh.
Wait.
trios
Is
and
it?
squads.
Is it?
Solos.
Is it? Is the question? Is the will the NBA
It's not a
not get
question,
more?
It's a statement.
What was it? Will the
NBA
NBA?
is the NBA this season will be the most competitive it's ever been.
So.
Yes.
Oh,
You agree with the statement? Yield, hold the phone. That statement's off.
No.
Yeah, I
No.
would say yield. I
I
thought
would
you
say
said like
no.
No.
I say no
that's your
because
statement, and you-
I think it was more
you actually
competitive.
determines the accuracy of the statement.
I think it was more competitive in the early 2010s with the Celtics and the Lakers and the Heat and the Mavericks who won a championship and the Spurs, like those teams. I think it was more competitive.
I'm saying yes, and I disagree with that statement because it was Lakers Celtics it was one team the entire season that you knew were gonna make the finals. Like this year, the Western
No.
Conference. I mean, yeah, the Lakers are.
It was
the favorite,
Celtics
and the
Lakers
Eastern-
twice. That was it.
The Lakers made 3 straight finals appearances. I'm just saying that it wasn't like it was the top teams. It was like last year, their top teams, and then once you got to a certain point in the conference, usually in the middle, like around the 5 seed, bad teams. Same thing in the Eastern Conference. Like that's what it was. So yeah, you had more teams higher seeds being competitive with each other, but you don't have them being competitive with the teams below them. That's what you have this year. So not only do you have the top 5 teams in each conference being competitive with each other, they're being competitive with the teams below them because there's 11 teams in the Western Conference that are going to compete for a playoff spot, and there's more teams in the Eastern Conference this year that are competing for a playoff spot than last year. So I think this is absolutely an accurate statement because the NBA is overall the competitiveness of the leagues. Every team, or not every team, but most teams are playing good, bad, are playing. I'm never going to watch there's going to be a few times this year where I'm going to watch a Lakers game with 100% certainty that they're going to win because just how crazy the league is. Last year, I was able to sleep at night knowing that they were going to beat the Hornets by 58. But this year, it's, the Hornets beat the Nets. Well, Nick, watch the first half and see what happens. Like, that's what I felt like against Timberwolves. Like, Timberwolves is 2-0. Nick, watch the first half and see what happens. And sure enough, they were up by a million. But that's the point I'm trying to make is that every single game, keeping fans on their toes, keeping teams on their toes. Like, there's no guaranteed wins out there anymore this year. So, yeah, we got Yesh. Brian, I don't know what the hell you said. I forgot what you said. Luke's a yeet. And so 3 Yeshes and a yeet.
Yeah,
Interesting.
no.
Back to football. Green Bay is rolling as ever, rolling like a steamroller. They just destroyed the Titans. Are they the team to beat in the NFL? Andrew. Not just the NFC, the NFL. That includes Kansas City.
I'm going to yield here just because Kansas City's Kansas City. Yes, they had 1 to 2 bad weeks. But, I mean, everybody's sort of gone through that couple weeks span of just, they're not playing too well. I think that the Packers are the best team in football right now just because of how they're playing. But come playoff time, the Chiefs can go back to how the Chiefs have been playing when they've been playing really well. So, I mean, who knows?
All I'll tell you is 1 loss. Brian?
I am going to yeet it just because the Chiefs are 14-1. They are going to have the number 1 seed in the AFC, and they are the reigning Super Bowl champions. Just because of those 3 things, are the team to beat. You can't be the team to beat, like, if you're still the number 1 team in the league, like, coming off of the Super Bowl, you're still a team to beat.
Right. Iggy?
I don't know. I'm always confused on the
Oh.
team to beat whenever anyone says that. But
Best team in the league, or basically the best team in the league. But
best team in the league.
obviously, Kansas City is the best team in the league. But
Who's the best team in the league right now?
Right. Like as we speak.
Well,
so you disregard, you take away Green Bay's early losses.
Well, so the best team in the league right now is Green Bay, just because of the way they've been playing. But it's been an odd year for football in that some teams look really, really good on any given night, and then that same team can also look really, really bad the next week. So who knows? And if the Bucks play like to their potential, then they can potentially beat the Packers, and it won't even matter. But they could also play like they deserve the number 1 overall pick in Trevor Lawrence, then they would get steamrolled by the Packers. So there's no really knowing because of how games have gone this year. So I'm going to go in the middle on this one.
I think yesh, because at the end of the day, I mean, you can take out a few years and, there's some give and take. You can take this with a grain of salt, but I think the better quarterback come playoff time is going to win most games. And Green Bay not only has, I mean, look, Andrew, we said this post-podcast. We said during the podcast, too, we've mentioned it, that Patrick Mahomes has 16 interceptions that were dropped by the defense. That's Madden rookie mode right there.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real here. When you come playoff time, he's playing against the Dolphins.
Madden rookie mode, they won't even cover the routes.
The Dolphins, you're talking about playing against the Dolphins. Well, they have a great secondary. Xavier Howard's lighting it up, or the Bills don't have a bad secondary. I mean, playoff time, these teams are good. They have good secondaries. They will punish you. He won't have 16, or he won't have those kind of dropped interceptions in playoff time. So I think Rodgers is a better quarterback. That offense is almost as good as Kansas City right now. They're rolling, better run game, better offensive line, and that defense is 20 times better than Green Bay. Pass rush, secondary, it's all better than Green Bay. So I mean,
You mean
better
other
than
way
Kansas City.
around?
Yeah, better than Kansas City. Sorry. So I do think Green Bay is a team to beat. I think it's their. I think right now it's their Super Bowl to lose. Right now, we'll see.
It's their
They're
NFC
one-
championship to lose because that's what they like to do.
They're
Yeah,
one.
they're always
one
choking
loss
the
away.
playoffs. That's the other thing.
I'm banking on them being the Bucks, them having to beat the Saints or whoever. Like I'm having banking on them have to beat 3 good teams to win that championship. I
Rodgers
think
has
they can do it.
never hosted an NFC championship game, which is crazy. He's only been in 4, which is also kind of pathetic.
Only.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty bad
that-
though, because considering
Is that second to Brady?
considering they
Brady's been in like
end-
13.
no, he's been at
Yeah,
least
but it's
6
like Brady and then
at least
20
9.
feet of 20
or at
feet
least
of-
9. Sorry,
At least 9, and
Nothing.
we've lost to Denver twice. We lost to Baltimore.
Yeah, no,
So
but
12.
there's Brady and then there's 20 feet of a lot and then there's Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, you mean who's in
Like
second?
it's Brady, yeah, but the Braves playoff numbers are only up here. The next closest person that's still in the league is like here.
So you're asking if Rodgers is in
It's-
second? I don't know.
Yeah, he's got to be.
I
up there.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll never
But
know.
they always, for some reason, they always finish 12-4, 13-3, and then choke in the playoffs every single
Well,
year.
You're
But
not
I feel like
wrong.
this year is an exception because I feel like they've never been this good. Like everyone talks about the Packers. Yeah, they're a pretty good team. They're a solid 12-4,
But they were in the
13-3.
NFC championship game last year, and I felt like they were terrible last year.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But
Well,
they,
'cause they got run out of the stadium.
By San Fran, they lost by like
Yeah.
100.
Raheem.
that was bad. But I always feel like they're like this, and then they'll choke in the playoffs. But I feel like this team is different. But yeah, that's it. Final thoughts.
Nothing.
Nothing for Andrew.
Go
Nice
Pats.
new Mike. Go
Go
Pat.
Pats.
Go
Put
Pats.
instead of
Go Bills.
yeah, go Bills. We want a better draft pick. Go Jets.
Go Giants.
Who are they gonna draft?
Who are we gonna draft? I don't know.
Justin
Devontae Smith,
Fields.
Kyle
What's-
Pitts, Jalen Waddle.
Newest projection. Smith's going to Miami.
Smiths.
Jamar Chase is gonna be the first wide receiver off the board.
They have Smith going ahead of Chase.
I doubt that.
Well, you doubt it's gonna happen, but they did have Smith ahead of Chase.
On what one mock draft?
ESPN. I feel like that's
All
like the
right.
main mock draft.
Thank
Don't
you
listen to
guys
that.
for listening. We will be back Thursday. Back to our normal double upload podcast. Go follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Big Four _ podcast. Once again, thank you for listening and see you on Thursday.